And say hello everyone to the first best of 3 of the day. PG.Barracx versus NCGC. PG.Barracx, obviously a team well recognized here in this SA region. They've been doing a lot of work, winning a lot of tournaments. But now we have them up against NCGC. This isn't a team I have seen before.
Remaining.
But they seem to have pretty nice tags. So maybe they know what they're doing. NCG Esports. Okay. They're a Filipino team with some young Filipino players, it seems. And they've drawn against Execration in joint Dota League. Okay. Beaten by Lotak. Previously, Lotak now disbanded, rest in peace. And they've lost to PG.Barracx before, but the teams have met before.
Dire team ban.
So that just gives me some decent background on who these guys are. Anyway, PG.Barracx going with the Bane first ban. A bit interesting there. Maybe it's just something that they would rather not play against. And it gives them the ability to set up for either a lifestealer. I think banning Bane sets you mainly up for a lifestealer. Because he's the major 5 position with the BKB piercing control. I also think he's pretty good against Pangolier. If we are going to see that out of PG.Barracx.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
And a ban of Nature's Prophet. Bounty of Nature's Prophet to just a really annoying heroes. We've seen Nature's Prophet played in all the positions, so you just don't want to let it through if you don't want to play against it. And Bounty Hunter, we were seeing more and more of him yesterday. If you caught my European streams, you would have seen Toby Dotes play a great Bounty Hunter that was able to take down the Juggernauts that are Alliance.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining.
And the last ban here is Enigma for the first phase from NCC. Okay, so that's 2 of the major BKB disabling heroes down.
Dire team pick.
I'm curious about this Undying. We haven't seen him picked up that much. Well, obviously, he's a very powerful 5 position in the laning phase, but he seems to fall off really, really hard now. And Juggernaut, that's really interesting. He's not a hero we see banned out in the first phase. Or maybe Barracx knows something about how NCGC like to play this game. And NCGC with their first pick, they're going to go for the tiny Barracx. Pick to respond with their Ember Spirit. Okay. The Oracle, we've been seeing a lot of first picks. Obviously, that 5 position, able to do so much with his toolkit, and just the save can never be underestimated. So, this Ember Spirit pick, I guess Juggernaut with the spin, immune to the magic damage, while you don't want to let him through. And the Bane offers so much easy control for the Ember Spirit with that feed script. Able to sleep, everyone comes over, then you use the feed script and you actually take him down. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see more control banned out. I assume this is going to be a 4 position tiny. That's how tinies are usually played. But there's the instant counter for the Ember Spirit. Nick's Assassin, Ember Spirit. He's walking around, has his Flame Guard on. Walks into Nick's Assassin, tanks a Spike Carapace, and things are not looking good.
10 seconds remaining.
Okay.
5 seconds
Ban
remaining.
of the Outworld Devourer as well as the Troll. Troll, I think, just annoying carry. I don't think he particularly counters anything. The thing about Troll is he just gives you that instant push, you know. You win a team fight, you're going to take buildings because you have that Troll with his further stacks. So not letting that through, I think, is a fairly reasonable thing to do. Outworld Devourer, obviously someone who can beat the Ember Spirit in the mid lane. He uses his Flame Guard, you pop Astral Imprisonment, he's out of Flame Guard and he hasn't managed to achieve anything with it. Also, that ultimate draining Ember of all his mana means he won't be able to Remnant around to safety. But time is ticking down here for NCGC while they think about what to pick up.
Radiant team ban.
And a Razor Ban. Okay, so that Razor Ban, I was going to say, it makes me think of picking the Lifestealer. Something, you know, another hero who's immune to magic. But the instant ban, they knew what they were doing, PG.Barracx. And I think this is probably going to be a 4-position Lifestealer. We saw Happy play it yesterday. He ran down people with that Diabolic Usage. He got First Bloods. He knows what he's doing on this hero.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
.40 seconds remaining here for NCC. Yeah, have to make their minds up soon. They don't have a large amount of reserve time to eat through. I do like the Nyx Assassin here versus the Listrak. That's something lucky that they've encountered, but PG.Barracx obviously not afraid of it. And also, picking up this Nyx means this Tiny is probably an offlane Tiny now.
Radiant team pick.
As we see the Shadow Shaman. So Shadow Shaman going to be the 5 position. Another hero who offers a lot of control for that Ember Spirit.
Dire team pick.
Vengeful spirit.
And in case you didn't know, this is going to be an off-lane Vengeful Spirit for PG.Barracx. We saw Godlike play it yesterday, and it was really impactful. It offers minus armor, disable, able to initiate with the swaps. I think he plays it really well as an off-lane hero. It's just so strong. And the thing is, he builds into the Agnes Scepter, so even if he initiates in and dies, he still has all his spells to be able to aid in the fight.
Radiant team ban.
Okay, so now we're starting to see the game plan of NCGC revealed, and they're going for Morphling. This might be a mid Morphling. I think he does fine versus the Ember Spirit because he right-clicked like a beast.
Dire team ban.
So yeah, I think Morphling does fine in the mid lane. They're getting rid of a puck though, so they might think that this is a safe lane Morphling. That is obviously a possibility, but I think the Morphling Ember matchup is fine. And once you get enough levels, you can level into the Adaptive Strike, so you're able to kill the Flame Guard as well. A ban of the Lycan, they don't want to give them even more push. They do have... We saw this draft yesterday, not with the Ember Spirit, but basically the same other 4 heroes if they pick the Lycan. It shows NCGC have certainly done their research.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
And there's the Pangolier. Okay, so I think this is probably a safe lane Morphling, an off lane Pangolier. Sorry, a mid Pangolier. Pangolier also surprisingly good versus the Ember Spirit. You know, you get a lucky shot, you get the silence, you get the... and then you're able to follow up with even
10
more control
seconds remaining.
onto that Ember Spirit. I really like that pickup of the Pangolier.
5 seconds remaining.
Monkey King.
Choose your hero.
But here we go. Here's the mid lane hero. It seems it's going to be a safe... I assume a safe lane Ember Spirit. And they're going to send the Monkey King versus the Pangolier. That's a very, very good lane for the Monkey King. Actually, Azure is their... I think Azure is their safe laner. But it might just be who's confident on the... Sorry, mid laner. I think it's probably just who's confident on the Ember Spirit. Because I think you want the Monkey King versus Nico in that mid lane. That's what's happening. Either way, we'll see what happens as this game continues. But I think, obviously, PG.Barracx have to be the favourites for this game one. Even though I do see what the NCGC draft is trying to accomplish. PG.Barracx obviously very comfortable with that lineup. And I really love the Happy Leshrac and the Godlike Vengeful Spirit. So while we wait for this game. So the Nyx Assassin versus the Ember is definitely a good counter. And I also quite like the Nyx Assassin versus Leshrac. But they just weren't afraid of it at all. For the side of PG.Barracx. And I've just realized I haven't turned my microphone on inside the game. So that people cannot hear me on Dota TV. Let's do that. There we go.
Prepare for battle.
Sorry, Dota TV people, for not talking during the draft. You should be able to hear me now. Okay, so let's have a look at how these lanes are going to pan out. We have Hoppy as well as Godlike. They're going to be having a great time together in this top lane, trying to pressure this Morphling, and I think they really should be able to do it, hopefully. Azure, it looks like this Ember Spirit is going to be mid. And Nico is... It looks like he's just roaming. They're thinking about getting first blood with this Tiny, with this Shadow Shaman. They'll have enough disable and hopefully enough damage with the Pangolier having the Swashbuckle here. Spaceman not being greedy though, not going down to the rune.
30 seconds to battle.
Oh, I feel better already.
With gratitude.
Both the casters wrote best of 3. That's great. We both wanted to help the teams.
All right.
Over here, Monkey King dressed as the courier. They do see Nico, but able to swashbuckle away. Held in place, actually. Are they going to be able to get a few more hits? One more hit. He needs one more. He's taking a fair amount of damage. A nice double on Impale there for Unknown. But they have a Stingu stacks on almost everyone but Ifrit. He still hasn't managed to get the 4 stacks, but I think he will be able to. They're holding the Shadow Shaman in place, and I think that's going to be first blood. I actually go for the side of PG.Barracx. They let it go to the Ember Spirit, but it looks like they might be able to turn it around, and they are onto the Monkey King. Ember Spirit TPing to his lane in the mid lane, and it looks like this is a mid lane Tiny. Sorry, just my lack of knowledge about how NCGC like to play their drafts. The mid Tiny versus Ember, putting the Monkey King versus the Pango. I did say this is a favourable lane for the Monkey King. And you can see both of them place their wards here. Who placed their wards first? The Dire placed their wards, so they should realise there is a Radiant ward there. Azure taking a lot of harass off that toss back, but he doesn't seem to quite have the speed to be able to catch up to him on this Tiny. He needs to be careful though. Doesn't have a salve, but he does have one flying out to him on the courier. Nyx Assassin making this pull, realizing that it's going to be hard for Nico to get up into the lane in this 4 position. Just putting the creep wave nice back, so they'll position the creep wave in a place where it is easier for Nico to farm. But he brings it a little bit too close to the enemy hero, so I don't think Pangolier is going to be able to get up in there. So unfortunately. Unknown, I think he should have brought it, connected it to the wave behind his tower, to be honest. That's what we've seen a lot. Meanwhile, let's have a look at how things are going in this top lane. Younggold receiving a fair amount of harass, but still CSing very well. Both of them do have their salves on this mid lane, so I don't think there's going to be a kill quite yet. RP looking for the lucky stun. Oh, he doesn't connect on the end, and they're not going to have quite enough damage because of the Vengeful Spirit held in place with the shackles. A bit of an unusual miscoordination there between Barracks. Not waiting for the magic missile to go into the stun, because I think they would have had enough magic, had enough damage to kill the Morphling if that was the case. Over here, this is what we've seen before, the Diabolic Edict. It does so much damage that you're able to run people down with the other stun, and I think that is going to be a dead Shadow Shaman. He's both the deaths for the side of this NCC side.
Back to the impurities.
Nyx Assassin is sitting behind in the mid lane. He only has Impale, no levels in Spike Carapace. But they have the Avalanche. They don't have the Toss, but they pop the Mango over the Sword to be able to get the Flame Guard. So he's not taking full damage, but Unknown hits level 2. So he's able to get that easy stun with the Spike Carapace into the Flame Guard. But Searing Chains connects on the 2, and he's able to walk away on the Sword. But Huffy, he's coming in. He's trying to turn this around. He actually hits the Split Earth just on the edge on Pillar's Notes, but without the mana for the Diabolic Edict, there's not going to be the damage to kill off this Tiny. But what a great save there from Azure. The Flame Guard, even though it gave him the easy Spike Carapace, it stopped him taking the magic damage from the Impale. Running through the trees now is the Shadow Shaman. He just wants to trade hits with this Vengeful Spirit. Keep zoning her out, allowing Youngkog to have this uncontested time in his top lane. Meanwhile, let's have a look at how mid lane is going. Another Avalanche just to get rid of the Flame Guard, it seems. Because Unknown, he has rotated back to his bottom lane where he belongs. But this Pangolier actually has managed to take 14 CS. I thought it would be a lot less. He's just manning up against the right clicks. This Oracle hits like a bit of a wet noodle, to be honest. Oh, really interesting build. Usually we see 1-1-1 and then the rest of the points into Swashbuckle and Shield Crash. But he actually hasn't taken any points into Lucky Crash. Anyway, he does need to be careful. He's being followed into the trees. Are the creeps going to give the vision for the Oracle? They do for a slight moment. He does have only level 1 Purifying Flames and no Fortune's End, but Nico, he does have the escape of the Swashbuckle. We're going to continue watching this pursuit held in place, and he actually does kill him, Spaceman. Getting that solo kill on the Pangolier, just not respecting the damage of the Oracle, gave him a chance for his spells to go off cooldown. Baiting there with the Nyx Assassin illusion. So I don't think he thinks this is real because he's playing so aggressively. And especially because they've probably seen the real Unknown in this bottom lane. But Ifrit on CS leader at this point in time, and we have a bit of a pause. A bunch of high pings as Barracks go for the disconnect. They'll probably be back soon. Nothing to worry about. Anyway, we're waiting for Leshrac to reconnect on Happy, and I think he could be right there. I think we're ready to go when they are. There we go. We have the go when ready, and Happy's ready. Unknown just using his illusions to create a lot of harass. We're coming up to the 5-minute rune. Unknown, he has the Impale. He does manage to land it, get that bounty rune. Spaceman not channeling the Fortune's End, but Ifrit, he's behind here. But he doesn't actually go for the 4 stacks. He's more important on being able to get onto Nico 3 stacks. He has that 4 stack, but he actually misses the boundary strike. But it doesn't matter. Spaceman there to help clean up the kill with the Purifying Flames. So a nice kill on that Pangolo again. Barracx 2k advantage already at this 5-minute mark. We're experiencing another pause. It seems like Huppy is having some ping issues. Well, I say Huppy, I mean most of Barracx apparently. Wow, definitely most of Barracx. But they are reconnecting one by one, so I don't think we have to worry too much. So while we wait, let's read some tips, I guess. Let's learn to get better at Dota. Switching treads to agility while healing. Don't forget to switch them back. Don't leave your treads on agility, apparently. I guess unless you're an agi hero. Using boots can break invisibility, who knew? The Shadow Blade was once the sword of a long now. I like how actually in tips that they have lore as well. I think that's a good place to put some of the random lore. Anyway, while I've been stalling, it seems everyone has reconnected. And Barracx, they are trying again to overcome their ping issues. Angler has to walk down to the bottom lane. His TP is on cooldown. He's rushing towards that first javelin, so his swashbuckle will start doing 100 more damage. On average. Nice use of the Carapace there. It doesn't actually last long enough, so Fortune's End's still going to do some damage. And let's have a look at this top lane. Young God is farming fairly well, but they're not holding back Godlike's farm either. Are they going to be able to get the Stun Magic Missile? He did the Strength Bolt in time. They follow it up with the Stun, but do they have quite enough to kill him? I don't think they are. And Young God, he's going to be able to Strength Bolt. He does need to be careful. But it is actually a level 3 Strength Bolt, so it's more than enough to hold him in place. They have the Shackles, a rotation from HPL. I didn't see this. And Spirit, he does have level 6, so he's able to throw out that Remnant, get to safety, as well as having that Haste Rune. So they bring 2 into mid lane, but unsuccessfully able to get... Not successful in getting that gank over here on Azur. Azur, it looks like he's shrined up. And now they want Young God. They don't have the mana on the Vengeful Spirit, so they're going to have to try and get the stun with Huppy, but they know that he's here. Strength Morph, is it enough? They do have the Flame Guard. Trying to retreat, and look at this, rotating back to top is Puller's Notes. They're going to be able to kill off Huppy with that Ether Shock. And now, looking for more is Azur. This Shadow Shaman, so squishy in the trees, but no! They're holding him right under the Ember Spirit, right under the tower, but you need to be careful of that Flame God. Unknown, he's right there, jumps back to his Remnant, and will they be able to kill Pillars? Don't Spaceman, if he's able to get another Purifying Flames, he would have been able to do it, but this Ember Spirit just going to retreat back, lay down a Flame Remnant, so he's able to go back to the top lane if he wants to. But during all this, it has left Nico alone with Ifrit. And honestly, I do have to say, I'm really impressed with the amount of farm Nico has been able to get. He might have died twice, but I still think he's doing a half-decent job at getting CS on this Pangolier. So they've given the mid lane over to Huppy. They want to pressure this Morphling, and that's what Azur is there to do. Sleight of Fist didn't go for the Searing Change, actually. And with that waveform, Young God, no, they figure out where he goes. He was already Agility Morphing. He has to stay in Strength. The rotation of the Shadow Shaman, it looks like they're just going to go take the easy kill, but Nico has his level 6, but not quite enough mana for it. The Shadow Shaman does go down in the end to the last right click of Godlike. Now Azur, he needs to be careful. They did get the stun of the Spike character, so it's only level 2, so it didn't last that long. But Ember Spirit, they get another stun. Are they able to kill the Morphling? He's not strength morph enough. They need one more right click, but he pops a stick. Azure, he doesn't have a safety Remnant. He now has the mana for Remnant, but waiting for him on the low ground is Pierstones. And now Godlike, he's going for more, but the strength Morphling able to get off that long stun, and they're actually pinging out Huppy. Godlike thrown it into the air. He does finally get the kill on Morphling. It's been what he's hoping for the entire time, but Godlike, I don't think Pierstones is going to be able to chase him down. He doesn't have phase boots or anything. And the Vengeful Spirit able to make his way to safety. So a 2-for-1, but you do lose your Ember Spirit. It was farming really well, and I take that back. This mid lane Tiny doing work. But Ifrit, he's finally rotated. It's a massive fight in this top lane. And with the 4 stacks of Jinku and the Boundless Strike, that's going to be an easy kill for our Monkey. And he's looking for more. He sees Nico. He has a double damage. Nico, he doesn't have mana for Swashbuckle. He's scouted out thanks to the Vengeful Spirit. Wave of Terror. Actually misses the trees. Nico, is he going to be able to get away? He does have Swashbuckle. He puts himself into the trees. TP, it is off cooldown, but they know where he is. Wave of Terror, it doesn't even connect, but they don't need it. He kills off Godlike, actually, just as he's going down. What a great play there by Nico. I thought he wasn't going to get anything out of his death. But a whole lot of rotations into this top lane.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I'm realizing that top lane is where the focus of Barracks are. Young God is just going bottom. They know the Monkey King TP top. They know that's where Huppy, Oracle, and Leshrac are, so he feels it's much safer, sacrificing their safe lane tower and maybe hoping to get something a bit more out of it.
Tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They're leaving Nyx Assassin on this bottom lane, I assume, because they want him to get that level 6. But obviously, at 10-minute mark, we will see the book come out, and we'll see a few more levels on these supports.
This'll come in handy.
We've hit the 10-minute mark. Let's see how the bounties were handed over. The classic 2-for-2 exchange. And Huppy has managed to hit his level 6. And I wouldn't be surprised if the tome is brought out for someone or other.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Monkey King just farming up a stack there with that tree dance actually, and Primal Sping. And how's our Pangolier doing? He now has the money for the Javelin. He actually went for the Arcane Boots first, realizing that he was very mana constrained and that was limiting his farm.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But Arcane Boots, Javelin, he's not doing too bad. But are they going to follow him into the trees here with the Monkey King? They have good vision for him. They do actually connect the Boundless Strike after the Swashbuckle, but he's just threatening to use his ultimate. And Ifrit knows he can't pursue him through that. The Nyx Assassin of Unknown does have the level 6 here, but I don't think he really wants to go scouting. He'll go scouting once Tiny hits level 6, I assume, so he can set up kills for the both of them working together as a pair. But Smoke, onto Unknown, he goes into his Vendetta. Let's see if they're able to get this kill. Who are they going to bring for damage? It looks like they're bringing Pillar's Dotes. They do have a good ward here, which is going to realize that Nico has TP'd into the area. But Godlike, they have a sentry down there, realize that no, but he actually quickly pops a Spike Carapace. He's being how the plays. That's a big Monkey King ultimate. It's right onto Nyx Assassin as well as Nico, but on this backline doing so much damage with the Avalanche Toss, but they lose their Morphling. He wasn't Strength Morph, even sitting inside the walls, he's not able to save, and they're getting a 4th kill. What a massacre there by the side of PG.Barracx. And everything just happened so quickly. Let's see if we can watch that again. While PG.Barracx farm up these wards. The only survivor of that was the Nyx Assassin, who was the one who got initiated on instinctively. But great job by PG.Barracx having this ward down there. But it looks like they're going to get one more kill. Unknown, he pops off the Impale. And they're bringing in the Shadow Shot with the Ether Shock. It's not going to be quite enough. But they might be able to kill Huppy. But they're eating his ultimate. But Young God able to come up with Waveform. So yeah, we're going to watch a replay of that fight. Just as I'm watching the smoke go in, you can see Unknown. They hit him with the Spike Carapace, but it's a really big Monkey in ultimate. He gets the stun onto 2, but on the backlines you have the Avalanche Toss, but the Ember Spirit goes in, and Morphling, he just isn't Strength Morph at all inside those wards, so he just goes down to general AoE. They get a stun and they collect more. Wow,
Dire's
that
middle
was a really
tower
big team
is
fight.
under attack.
Luckily, they don't have a sentry in this mid lane. Unknown now, scouting out the Monkey King. But as I said before, they don't really have much follow-up until the Tiny gets a Blink Dagger. So you can do all the scouting you want, but you're not able to help set up these kills. Because I doubt you can solo kill anyone, even this squishy Oracle. You knew there was a sentry there. I'm so surprised he did that. He does manage to land the double impale, but it really doesn't matter. With this Oracle Spaceman, 4 points in the Purifying Flames. He wants to be doing damage.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And with that tier 2 claim so quickly, thanks to Hoppy and that Diabolic Edict, they have their full 5-man in this bottom lane, and they just wanted tier 2. They're like, if you're going to have that insolence, we're just going to take all your towers. 6k advantage at this 13-minute mark. And I like the fact that Ifrit jumped into the trees just to see if anyone was TPing. But there's nothing they're able to do to defend this tower. It does go down to Diabolic Edict of Hoppy. But they are TPing in, but there's another Monkey King ulti at this point. It's a nice stun onto 2 of them, but they're able to get out and morphing in Youngcorn, turning into the Ember Spirit. Getting very low here is Nico. He needs to be careful about going back into the Monkey King ultimate. They have a long shackles, but it doesn't matter. Ifrit, he has phase boot, so you can't actually ward trap the man. The Oracle ultimate on top of this left track, and now they're chasing down Youngong. He's stunned. He's straight to morphing, but they have more than enough damage to be able to kill him. No one for the side of PG.Barracx going down, and now they see Pillars Dotes. Are they going to be able to get him? Unknown, he will swap back into this. Like Carapace, not going to save you again. They have more than enough damage instances, so it doesn't really matter. And Pillars Dotes, he has the tree. He has the Avalanche. He's going to have to throw it behind him if he wants to be able to get away. Thrown into the air, Avalanche shots, but it's not quite enough on this Ember Spirit. You might have an Arcane Rune, but they have 5 heroes. Barracks just walking over the side of NCGC.
A little something extra.
And with that, that's going to be 3 bounty runes. Oh, Nico, he got so greedy. They get the stun. Is there enough damage coming out from Godlike? He doesn't have a swap, so Nico will be able to escape with that swashbuckle. So let's see what's happening. Pillars Dotes, he's nowhere actually near his Blink Dagger. For a mid lane Tiny, you can just see how poor he is. Actually, the entire side of the Dire, incredibly poor. And Nico being run down. There is no magic missile, but the swap is coming off cooldown. Swashbuckle, TP away. Is he going to realize where he is? Godlike has the swap, cancels the TP. And I think that is a dead Pangolier. Shield Crash, not on any heroes. Isn't going to mitigate the damage at all. And Hoppy, with this level 4 Diabolic Edict, we just see him rotating tower to tower. Unknown is there if he wants to pop the Spike Carapace, but he's not there in time to save his tower. And the side of Barracks, do they want to group up again? The score 20-8. 10k net worth lead at 16 minutes. It's not 1k a minute, but it is still pretty damn impressive.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Pangolier actually doesn't connect with the Radiant Creep Wave. Unknown, they have sentries down for him. They're just so prepared. He thinks he's being sneaky on the Sixth Assassin. Does land a single impale onto Godlike, but I doubt it's going to be enough. The stun only connects onto one, and Nico, this Pangolier ultimate doing a fair amount of work, but now he's caught without his team. He's being slowed down. Is that a Diffusal Blade on the Monkey King? Or no, it's the Echo Saber slow. He manages to get himself to the high ground, but pursuing is the Monkey King, so they have vision within the trees. You're not able to hide. He's got the 4 stacks of Jinku, and again, Spaceman, this Oracle, he's been on point this entire game. He's had the Pangolier's number. And right into the pit with that kill of the Pangolier. He's obviously the hero who's best around the pit for this Dire side. Ember Spirit, it looks like he wants to kill off the Shadow Shaman with the DT, but the DD, sorry, but he's not really committing for it. Okay, someone claimed they think the game sounds a bit low. We'll up them a teeny bit for you guys. We'll change my balance. Actually, we can slide it up 10% more, I guess. There you go. Now I don't think you can complain about game sounds. Ember Spirit running forward with that Flame God, but unknown. They don't have detection for him unless he goes in range of the tower. But he certainly knows to sit outside it. He might have learned his lesson. Once or twice, this Ember Spirit has the Aegis online, has the Maelstrom. And unknown, he's been offering great information with his scouting. And, oh, just misses the Monkey King. Would have been able to cancel that TP. But it looks like they're grouping up. They have the Aegis. They want to fight for the side of Barracks, or at least claim these last two outer towers, especially this mid lane tower that's sitting at almost 0 HP. And they didn't even have to sacrifice Diabolic Tedia for that. There's no glyph on the Dire side, actually. So Leshrac just able to walk up into this high ground. And we're going to see this tower drop precipitously fast. Azure just using the Sleight of Fist Zone Chain to zone back this Tiny. But Tiny's still away from his Blink Dagger. This is a mid lane Tiny at 20 minutes in with no Blink Dagger. Just applying the Wave of Terror to all of them. Azure got the zone, and now with the second Diabolic Edict, he realizes he has to do something here on Nico. They have the Hex, but the swap to be able to save, as well as the Oracle Ultimate. This was the man with the Aegis, but they're still committing a lot to save him. They have managed to get their first kill over on Happy, but they've lost their Shadow Shaman for it. Ember Spirit leaping forward, but gets hit by the Nyx Assassin despite Carapace because he has that Flame Guard up. But the wards, they've been cleared. But he has the Blink Dagger from getting that kill. Tosses back this Monkey King, and he doesn't have the Aegis. That's a big kill, but they are still probably going to lose their racks. They're committing for this for the side of Barracks. Zones them back with the double Sleight of Fist Searing Chains. Morphling, he is full strength more, so he's able to get off that long stun for the Vengeful Spirit. Are they going to commit to try and kill him? The Morph already used, and it's on cooldown. Ember Spirit tossed back. They have the Avalanche. It's onto two of them. The Sleight of Fist, and they're going to get the Aegis at least. Now, Spaceman, he's the one they're focusing. They know he doesn't have the ultimate. The Ember Spirit back to full mana, full health. They get the disarm, however, thanks to that lucky shot. But Morphling, he goes down. He's just not strength morphed up. And now Nico, godlike, he doesn't care. He's chasing forward, even though he has those shield crash stacks and held in by the shackles. Has no backup. Godlike, you're unfortunately not going to get those 10 kills without dying to make yourself well and truly godlike. So they do claim racks, but a bit of a messy engagement. I do say that as Huppy has his completed Atos, finds the Pangolier being greedy and farming. Ifrit, he doesn't know that the Tiny's here. The Tiny will have realized that he's here. This lucky misery, will they be able to set up for a kill? They have the Nyx Assassin coming in. They see Ifrit. He realizes something's up. And now they have detection. If the Tiny wants to transgress into this Roche pit, but it looks like that's not going to be the case. Ifrit has got that completed Diffusal Blade. We talked about that being his next item. It's just so good versus that Morphling, actually, to be able to drain his mana. But over here, looks like we have a big fight. They've caught out the Ember Spirit, but do they have enough? No, Azure, he has his BKB off that last engagement. It looks like you won't be controlling him anymore. And there's your mid laner. There's your Tiny Nico trying to escape with the Swashbuckle, but actually goes into the ultimate there. But he's just going to have to roll unbuy as they're able to kite him for the side of Barracks.
Dire's top shrine has fallen.
And that is going to be an easy shrine for the side of the Radiant.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
So Dire using their glyph to defend this tower as soon as the Diabolic Edict gets pressed. But I don't know if the side of Barracks, they're going to stop off this tower. They know they're ahead. They can feel it. So even without Aegis, they might continue to push. Diabolic Edict, it just has such a low cooldown. So 6 seconds and they'll be more than ready to go again. And they've even scouted out this ward. They see Unknown as well. They get the Sleight of Fist before he's able to use the Spike Carapace. He does manage to stun up most of them. They go in, but remember, there's no ultimate here from the Pangolier. Going in even further is this Ember Spirit, just zoning them out. This Monkey ultimate. It's actually only onto one. Young God has turned himself into the track to get his arsenal of spells, but sitting inside the Monkey ultimate is that Shadow Shaman. Tiny, it seems he's dead every time I go to have a look at him. Young God, his Leshrac morph is fading off. And this Morphling, he's just so poor. He doesn't even have his full BKB. And it looks like the side of Barracks, they just can't be repelled. Not buying back on this Tiny. They just don't want to spend it. They know how poor he is. The Spike Carapace, it just doesn't matter when they are able to hold you in place and wait it out.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And now that's 2 lanes of Barracks claimed for their namesake. Are they just going to continue going bottom? It looks like they are. So Tiny respawning for this one. Nyx Assassin, you might have to buy back. Ember Spirit, Searing Chains, not even needing a Slight of Fish. They have a follow-up stun, and there you go. There's Dead Pangolier. They'll have to buy back, but they just called GG. They know this game is over. They don't want to waste their buybacks. So on to game number 2 is Barracks with a 1-0 advantage.